Shut up and sit down.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Ken Frederick Podcast, episode 74. Kong Skull Island spoiler review. Sorry, I thought there was King involved in it too. So if you stumble across the interwebs, check us out at kfpodcast.com, Facebook at kfpodcast, Twitter at Ken Fred Podcast, and on the Instagrams at Ken Frederick Podcast.
Justin, quit texting your ladies while we're podcasting. Or your mom.
Isn't that your lady?
Yeah, it's my lady.
All right, so you heard everyone make fun of Justin about his mom.
Hey, everybody.
And that was me.
It's Don, Lance, and Brock.
Hi.
And we're here at Casa de la Atkinson.
Yeah.
Change of environment.
Yes.
And welcome back, Ken.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for having you on your show.
Hopefully we're not as morose as the last movie review you
Here
guys
we
did.
go. We had to get that shotted.
I did. It was very sad and sullen.
We just missed you, Ken. That was it.
Yeah, that's all.
We were down. We were just in the dumps that day. We were hungry. The movie made us sad. You weren't here.
So it should have balanced out. You've been real excited. Ken's not here, but we're hungry. Oh.
We saw this movie a couple days ago, so we're good.
Yeah, if we can remember any of it. All right, so let's start giving some non-spoiler reviews. So we'll start to the left. Justin, what did you think of it? Since you probably saw it the most recent and all.
You saw it
Yeah,
yesterday.
I saw it yesterday afternoon.
Because you were in
So
California.
you're fresh, so you go first.
Really enjoyed it. It was pretty much everything I was looking for out of a King Kong movie. Big ass monkey fighting crazy monsters.
He's not a monkey.
Who aren't monkeys, and some people shooting at him for some reason because I don't know why. But
That's a great review that you just said. That was great. Big ass monkey shooting at you for no reason.
I like that. I expect a big ass monkey in my King Kong movie.
I like that he's been looking
the
for.
titles.
Like every day he's
King
like,
Kong.
this movie isn't what I've been looking for.
I've been looking for movies with giant
He
monkeys.
walks into a theater. Excuse me, do you have King Kong movies here? That's not the one I'm looking for. I'll be back in another year.
He's just looking at movies like Every Which Way But Loose with Clint Eastwood, and that orangutan is like so close, but it's not exactly what I want in the movie.
They didn't even say right turn, Clyde. What's up?
Seriously, it's called King Kong. Would you accept King
It's
Kong?
actually not called King Kong.
It's called
Kong
Kong.
Skull
But it's
Island.
King Kong. Would you accept a King Kong movie with a regular-sized gorilla in it? No.
It
It's gotta
depends,
be, like,
depends if all the
100
people in it
feet
were
tall.
midgets.
This is the monkey you've been looking for.
Yes.
All right.
Nice.
Brock?
I enjoyed it. I thought one thing I liked about it is these older King Kong movies were always really cheesy. They did a good job of eliminating a lot of the cheese.
Is he point over there?
Man, I missed one movie with you guys, and it's all just...
And you're taking it. Ken misses a whole week. He gets nothing. You're getting all this.
This is a lesson. You shouldn't miss out.
Yeah. And the action was good. It was realistic in the violence, and it wasn't over the top. And it was just have the right amount of comedy, too, to keep it moving without getting dry, I guess.
You don't want to get dry.
No.
That's for sure.
Not the
Want to
giant
stay
monkey
moist. Want to stay moist in the movies.
Not too moist. You don't want jungle rot.
Or swamp ass. That's a bad one.
Both of which could have happened to the people in this movie.
Yeah.
I'm sure they did.
You sure? Yes.
They did look very uncomfortable.
I don't know what's life like on a freighter.
I don't know.
All right.
There you go.
I enjoyed the movie. Like everyone else said, it's pretty much what you were looking for. You don't go to King Kong looking for a great life lesson or some deep meaning to the giant ape, not a monkey. But yeah, it was good.
Semantics.
Well, I thought it was good too. I was glad they didn't go into the whole nowadays with like trying to give a message or prove a point or get political about man invading. They didn't go all too deep in all that stuff to like make it boring. It was just we're gonna go to this.
Well, they did a
A
little
little bit, but not
it,
as much as they.
It wasn't heavy-handed.
Yeah, it wasn't
They spent
heavy-handed.
just a few minutes on it, if that.
Had a good cast, funny moments. I thought, like you said, it was very realistic. Like not really a spoiler, but like when he grabs the helicopter, he actually cuts his hand on the blade. Whereas before they didn't go into just blows up. They didn't go into that kind of detail. But every little interaction he had, you saw the scars from it, the damage from it.
No G.I. Joe violence where everyone gets in a parachute.
Yeah, no, and the violence was good. It wasn't like overly top gory. It was just like
It was adequate for the scene.
right. You could take your kids to see it, and they're not going to be like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
I mean, when this, that's a spoiler, but we'll save that. But yeah, it was good. It was well done. I think it builds on a good next step in the movies that they're going to make, and it was good. I really liked Captain Marvel in it.
Brie Larson.
Brie Larson. And I have to apologize to you because I told you before.
Just about this or about other things too?
We'll get to those eventually. Because I threw a fit when you said I like Brie Larson as Captain Marvel, and I'm like, I don't want her. As
Yeah, you're like, what's this, The Room? And,
and then I saw her in this movie, and I was like, wow, she is really attractive.
Yep.
She's good. She's funny. She was good in the action scenes. So I think she's gonna be perfect. So yeah, she was good.
I still think she looks like Jenna Fisher from The Office. Though.
She does.
You do think that.
Yeah.
And what did you think?
I liked it. I mean, I thought John C. Reilly kind of stole the show.
He did.
I thought his humor was really nice.
He normally does.
There was somebody in the theater with us that thought every line that he said was comedy gold and laugh
Laughing
out loud.
so hard.
I missed that.
They were down to the right and the bottom.
He wasn't with us.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, he was.
He was with us.
Yeah, you're the one that didn't want to sell me your ticket, so you paid for two.
I figured you were just going up for concessions.
But every time he would say something like, "You guys are gonna die here," you'd hear, "Ah!" and Brock would turn to me and go, "It's just not that funny. I mean, it's funny."
You know what? It was probably me. I was like, I'm sitting away from you guys.
It was somebody really yucking it up.
Yeah. Which usually entertains me too. So.
All right, so let's get into some spoilers.
You want to get into spoilers there? Say your thing.
Oh,
Come on. You were so out of it
I
today.
am so out of it. I'm
He's
sorry.
still on San Jose time or whatever.
Still an In-N-Out burger time.
Get that boy a maki roll.
All right, so we'll flip it and reverse it and go to Dawn first.
Right, I'm flipping and reverse it. Spoilers. I was glad that they didn't kill him. Number one.
Yes.
'Cause usually King Kong movies end the same way. They're going to take him off the island, let him do the building thing, and then they kill him, and that's how it always ends.
Which I think is why. Well, we'll get to that later, but keep going.
Yeah, so it was more of an origin, because it is an origin story. It's the Skull Island story. I like the fact that they mention in it that he's not really done growing yet. That was like more of there was a race of them there, and they were all wiped out by the monsters.
The last of the species.
The last of the species. He could get bigger, so we could even see a bigger monkey.
And this happened, what, in the 40s? Was this 1946?
73.
73.
It happened. The guy John C. Reilly crashes in the 40s during World War II, and then it's like 30 years later, and they're in the 70s.
Yeah.
So by the time this time Ryland rolls around, he should be even bigger. But I'm glad it ended more on a positive note with him instead of the usual stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of like what Don said. I liked that they actually sort of humanized Kong a little more, and you've got the origin story. The one thing I actually really liked in the movie that it was set in 1973, so you get that sort of vintage technology thing going on. So you don't have this, oh no, we've got this laser, we're going to kill Kong sort of thing.
Yeah.
It sort of made the
We
story.
got tracking that can satellites, and we're pinpointing his location.
It actually made some of the struggles a little more realistic.
Yeah.
I mean,
Which is cool. It had a vibe of like Stranger Things, the Netflix show, where that show worked so well in the 80s because there's not cell phones to call people and do all that. There wasn't this.
Yeah.
It's tough.
And John C. Reilly, I don't think he stole the show, but it's one of the few John C. Reilly roles where I just didn't that I actually liked.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he's a comedian. He's good at it, but I can only take so much of like the Talladega Nights type comedy.
So yeah, I really like that. That's why I thought it was funny when you were just
Well, but I mean, he did a lot of the same stuff, but he actually like put it into context, like him being still stuck in the 40s.
Yeah.
And that sort of anachronism
Him
type
being
thing.
a little crazy from being there since the
Right.
40s.
Yeah.
And I actually thought he was going to be a character who was just like a little bit and then get killed and like nothing. But he had a lot of he had more depth to him than.
Right.
He wanted to get back to his family. He wanted all these things to happen.
He ended up being their island guide.
Yeah, he was good.
more than Loki was.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was pretty useless.
Yeah.
As the island tracker guy. I don't even know really what he did.
Yeah.
Well, no, he helped them find the helicopters.
He did.
And he did go, wait a minute, there's a giant bison thing. Don't shoot him.
Don't shoot the giant bison thing. Where I would have been like,
and he saved Brie Larson's camera.
Oh, don't let's.
You did.
I'm,
We'll leave that one for you.
Yeah, we have another section come up. Things that didn't work.
Go ahead. What are your spoiler reviews?
I like the unique, different creatures that they had there. They were like based on real animals, but they just did something different about them. Like the bison thing had just these huge like antlers, I guess, or
Those gigantic-
horns.
A true
Yeah.
water buffalo.
Yeah, and he was in the water, and he came out, and then the bad monsters, with the skull crushers.
Skull crawlers or whatever they were. Yeah.
They were kind of like dinosaurs, but they didn't have lower legs. They just had big arms that they walked on.
Yeah,
and they were
yeah.
like a snake and a dinosaur
Yeah,
combined.
they were weird. They were creepy.
and I liked, just not to jump in on you, Brock, but I like the fact that there wasn't traditional dinosaurs, because sometimes
Yeah.
King Kong can turn into Land of the Lost.
Exactly.
With the
exactly.
He's fighting T-Rexes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was supposed to be an undiscovered
Yeah.
ecosystem, basically, and he was the top of the ecosystem. He was the balance of all of it.
Yep.
Like
He kept them from coming up,
Yeah.
taking over the whole island.
yeah, he let them have their space, but as soon as they came above ground, then he took over and would beat them up or kill them or whatever he needed
But
to
he
do.
would also protect the rest of the ecosystem.
Yeah. He was the balance of all of it, which I thought was nice.
When he helps the buffalo that the helicopters
Yeah.
crash on top of it.
And they never actually called him King Kong, but they always called him the king of the island.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it was
There's
cool. Yeah, I'm glad they didn't have T-Rexes this time.
yeah.
They
I like
stayed
that they
away
had new
from them.
creatures.
Yeah.
They had different
So
things.
it made sense because it was an undiscovered.
Like the bamboo spider monster.
Well, that thing was creepy.
That thing
was
creepy.
Oh,
I like
God.
It looked like tree legs.
There was a lot of that, like a lot of like camouflaged creatures that they encounter, which I thought
Well,
they did a good job.
Right,
with.
you figure they evolved like that to escape the predators.
Yeah, yeah.
And they didn't overdo it like the Peter Jackson King Kong story.
Oh, yeah.
Where where you stepped, there was like 85 monsters waiting. And,
Waiting to eat
there was
you, yeah.
three. He had to
Yeah.
fight 3 T-Rexes, and it was like so many
Yeah.
Yeah.
over the top insects. Whereas it's like, yeah, there's a couple things that can kill you here and there, but
The razor birds.
yeah.
Yeah.
The native people were fun. That didn't
Yeah.
talk.
Well, and the nice thing is they didn't pander to the fact that these are dumb natives.
No.
Yeah.
This was a civilization that has basically been cut off from technology.
Oh yeah, they've been untouched.
and they've,
Right.
they've
Yeah.
done well for themselves.
Right.
Surviving in Kong's world.
Yeah, because he took care of them.
Yeah. Some of the stuff. Well, we'll get into that in the stuff. That
Go
didn't
ahead,
work.
just talk. Go
No.
ahead.
I thought the interaction between the helicopter teams, like those guys, it was believable. Like if you watch vintage videos, or even movies that have portrayed the Vietnam War well, I thought that was portrayed really well.
Well, because they relied on communication, timing, and those things rather than technology.
Yeah, exactly. Like Don said, I liked Brie Larson, although some of the stuff was a little over the top with the photography.
There's always photography.
Tom Hiddleston was a little useless.
He's all bland.
I liked the character, and I liked the very first interaction when he's like, "Uncharted Island, let me tell you all the ways you're gonna die." I thought he did well. I thought, and I can't remember the actor's name, the kid who played Dr. Dre. I liked him. I thought he did really well.
Dre and Eazy-E were in that movie.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Both of
Corey
them are-
Hawkins.
Yeah.
They both
Thank
lived.
you.
And they both live, because I said, Eazy-E's going to die. I said, you're going to kill it. And then he lives. I was like, wow, all right, good job. Because I like him, too. He's a good actor. And Dr. Dre's on fire right now. He's on everything.
Yeah.
He's on 24. And
Yeah,
he's
he's 24.
on Walking Dead. He's all over the place. He was good.
No Walking Dead spoilers. Actually, I don't really care.
Is that still
He
show?
hasn't turned up yet. If you're worried about him.
He hasn't showed up yet. He's nowhere to be found.
Yeah, that's all my spoiler stuff.
I think all the spoilers we're going to talk about right now, I think everyone's covered. I mean, I thought John C. Reilly was funny. I like the monsters. I think definitely by the design of the monsters, you're going to see why he's upset with other things later that we'll talk about in the podcast.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that it's worked out pretty well.
So what's the thing you didn't like that bothered you?
All right, so the John C. Reilly is like telling these guys not to go through like pretty much reminds me of an elephant like burial ground
graveyard.
with all the Kong's ancestors' bones, and they're like, no, you can't go here. This is where the skull crawlers live or hunt or whatever, and the slow motion fast forward of Loki, because it's not that guy's always going to be Loki.
Yeah, he's just Loki.
He was like, oh, okay, so there's some smoke bombs going
That
on.
Matrix scene.
Yeah, and it's like Brie Larson's about to get eaten by this thing, so I'm going to run with a samurai sword.
Yeah.
Like dive out of one, grab a gas mask, put it on in one swoop.
Yeah.
Which those things need to seal on so it actually prevents the gas.
Yeah, it was
and then
bad.
cut. I was like, okay, this is
It was
dumb.
bad. It was a really stupid scene that I don't even know why they threw in there.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what they were trying to make it look cool and epic and all that, but it was cheese.
They were trying to show that this was his rise back. He was a fallen SAS agent.
Yeah, but
Okay.
You could do that without the bad special effects.
Well, you could.
Without the slow motion cutting the thing in it. Like, just speed this up. This
I
isn't the
don't
Matrix.
even know why in the large scheme of things you even have to care about that. Because it's not like if there's a sequel we're going to see this guy back as King.
Yeah, you're never going to see him
These
again.
characters are never going to... I don't think ever going to
Or
be
as an
able
old
to pull-
man.
Yeah, but it's not going to need the rise. Maybe just for a relationship with Brie Larson so their offspring can be maybe in a later one.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
But he
Their
was
son will be
actually.
in
But he was actually. You know, you get that sort of gathering of the fellowship. He was a member of that fellowship.
Yeah,
I mean,
I just didn't see the point of it. I thought that like they could have let something happen.
That entire scene, I was going, what are you doing this for? What? It's just all this running in slow motion.
Yeah,
and
it's dumb.
that gas didn't seem that dangerous because they were right in the middle of it. And no one was really
And it
dying
didn't
from
affect
it.
the animals.
It
The
didn't
animals
do
still
anything.
ran through it and was
It
eating
didn't do
people.
anything. It kind of just cleared, and they're like, "Oh, we're fine."
Yeah.
You know.
And the other pointless thing that I thought was cool when the crazy guy lights all the bombs off and was thinking that he's gonna get eaten. But like that, how's that monster know? He's been eating all of them, and then that guy's like, "Oh wait a minute, no," because he
That
just
scene,
stopped
that was
and
dumb.
then just threw him in. Like
He
exploded.
stopped and whipped him with his tail.
Yeah.
I could just easily eat you, but I'll whip you into the rock.
Yeah.
It looked funny because he got flown into the rock.
And then the
but
rock
it
exploded.
was kind of a pointless death for that guy.
Yeah.
Usually when you do a scene where someone sacrifices themselves with grenades, it helps.
Yeah.
This was
Like,
just a cheap laugh.
like in Aliens,
Yeah.
when the one gunner with the Latino lady, they hug each other and they pull the grenades and
it
they
was
like
Pullman.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't Pullman doesn't die that way. It's the sergeant that like she didn't really like.
Oh,
and they
that
kinda,
right.
like
You're
respect
right.
each other at the end and they pull the grenades. It saves everybody.
Yeah.
This was like, wow, that was pointless.
Yeah.
Which if maybe that's the point they were trying to do, be a little
Yeah.
funny there
Yeah, I
with
think
the
so.
death.
But that's what didn't work for me. But yeah. So anything else? Anyone?
I think I was a little disappointed in because they kept talking about the main one, the big skull crawler. The little ones he was able to defeat really easily,
Yeah.
and they're like the big one. You know, it's like the real big one. It didn't like seem that much of a. I know like it kept like he kept trying to do the jaw break thing on it,
Yeah.
and it kept fighting it off, and then like. I don't know.
I agree. I remember when John C. Reilly's character said, "Oh, that's the big one." I was like,
I was like, "Oh, that's the big
It
one."
doesn't look any
And I was
different
like,
than the other
yeah,
one.
no,
It had
it's-
more teeth, I think.
It had more.
Well,
It had a
and it
strange
was
mouth.
larger.
Yeah.
It was larger, but I don't know.
but yeah, a
could've been
little underwhelming.
a little
I agree.
underwhelming.
Yeah.
I mean, because if you look at it, like the little ones were like Velociraptor sized, where
Yeah.
the big one was T-Rex sized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to see him fight a few more monsters, but like I guess we'll get to that.
Yeah, I think
You
so.
know.
I think the fight scene with him fighting all the helicopters was really cool.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Especially when he was like running in Superman Roman Reigns punching the one out of the air. And like,
And I heard a lot of the critiques. Some of the critics said is that he didn't act like a gorilla. Like remember in the
not a
Peter
gorilla.
Jackson one, he walked on all fours and acted like a gorilla, where he was walking straight up.
Yeah, he's all-
And I'm like, well, he's not a gorilla. Like they even said, he's a different race.
yeah.
Of
And
something
he's
on.
intelligent. Like he's realizing too, like he got cut from the blades and he was
Yeah.
like figuring out how to like fight the stuff. Like he's more
Yeah,
intelligent.
it's not a gorilla. He's not acting like a gorilla. It's a completely different movie.
And he was also able to tell the difference between humans that were harming him and humans that weren't harming
Yeah.
him. Like he could understand what like actual kindness was.
Right.
My problem with it was they have the freighter with all the helicopters on it. You see three Hueys on the middle, and then you've
Yeah.
got the Chinook and you've got the Sea Stallion.
And then there was like 20 in the
in
air.
the air, there are like nine
Yeah.
Hueys.
Yeah.
Where did these come from?
Movie magic, man.
Yeah.
Movie
Yeah.
magic.
I thought it was what's his name? The guy did the newest Turtles and Transformers. Michael Bay.
Michael Bay.
Yeah.
It was just
Michael
like
Bay show.
all these things loading up.
Can you produce this
helicopters.
scene for us?
Well, it felt very reminiscent of the week before, not to get into Logan again, but when a couple carloads of bad guys showed up, and then him and X-23 killed people for 20 minutes, and me and Justin were going, where where are all these people coming from? They just keep showing up.
How many guys did they bring?
In every movie, was it Multiple Man shows up?
Yeah.
It just keeps spawning.
He is in that universe.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what they do in these movies. Like if you would have count the helicopters, you would have been like, all right, we're way done. And then they had extra men. Because you got to know all the characters that were on all the team, and then there was extra people that
For cannon
they were
fodder.
the red shirts.
I didn't see them in any other scene, and then when the monster would eat them, I'd be like, who just got eaten? Oh, it's just one of those guys.
Look, he's credited as Chavez. There's no Chavez listed.
You need to be eaten by somebody, But surprisingly, like I said, I was surprised by the people that made it. I thought for sure a lot more people would have. You knew John Goodman was going to die. I mean, that was
Oh yeah. The way he went out though was very monster movie cliche. Where the Flash goes off, and then you see the Flash going off inside the monster.
I actually
stomach as
didn't
it
mind
runs around
that
him.
scene. But it was very cliche.
Yeah. One thing I did like is I thought that when they were going to introduce Samuel Jackson, I thought they always have the guy that just wants to kill him for no reason.
That's what I was going to get to. Speaking of cliches, the stereotypical military.
He had a good point. Like the way they tied in the whole Vietnam thing where he was a guy that was fighting over there and didn't want to give up, didn't like that.
Yeah.
And didn't want to lose again.
Didn't want to lose another war, hated that everybody was telling him you lost this war.
Yeah.
And that's why he took it personally. I thought it was well done.
And he just wanted to go back and get his man.
Mm-hmm. Right. And he wanted to kill that thing because he wanted to win something.
Right.
He was good. He got flattened, though.
Well, I love that there's so much stomping. It reminded me in a lot of ways of the Primal Rage video game, where things were just getting eaten while things were fighting and stomped and stuff.
The little natives running around. Yeah.
He got just the fist right down on the right onto him.
I always like that people would find a nice rocky hilltop in a valley to look Kong in the eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, we need an eye-to-eye scene with Kong. They needed one of those quarter machines where you have the thing that you put your face in and the binoculars.
And no one seems bothered by Kong's breath, which I'm sure isn't good. But he's right here,
Well, no, because he had that fresh calamari earlier.
and blowing out all that steam on him.
Yeah. I actually liked that scene because I wasn't expecting that at all because it looked like a real... It didn't seem that deep. Here's a guy standing and it's up to his knees, but all of a sudden there's a giant squid in
and
the
he
river.
just killed the shit out of it and ate it like it was like...
What monster killed the guy that had all the guns? Was that Campbell or what was his name?
Chapman? I think it was one of those skull crushers.
It was a skull crusher.
Because it spit out a skull with his
that's right. It was
dog
a skull
tags and all
because it was
That
the stick, the walking stick he sort of sat on.
Yeah.
But that one ran away, and the skull crusher.
Because the walking stick scene was like, what the F, man?
Yeah.
Like it jumps up and he shoots it in the head. And it's like, screw you. He starts walking away like, you're an asshole. I'm a walking stick. I don't know why you're so... That scene was great. So I thought he was going to go attack him and just look at him like, dickhead. Started walking down in the woods like...
spit something and left.
It's like, you're a jerk.
Actually, the one thing that I found funny / wrong was so in the beginning when Goodman and the other guy are actually going to the senator's office to actually get the approval.
The dad on Step Brothers.
It's like it's this whole bank of computers, tapes and stuff. 1970s computing technology. What's it doing in a senator's office?
Yeah.
And only you would be bothered by that. You work in that, so you're noticing that. That server shouldn't be there.
Well, I did appreciate that there was a VT220 terminal there, and then
I was just like, hey, look, there's this stuff on a desk.
I was like, that's the dad from Step Brothers.
I didn't even see the
And he's got a scruffy beard. Everybody's got scruffy man beards in this movie. It's the 70s.
That's all I didn't even notice anything. That's crazy.
So let's talk about the ending and how it ties in here. So
Kong has a wife, and they have a bunch of kids.
They do.
And it wraps up at the end with them as a family. And then they live on the island.
the next one is Kong goes to college.
So we found it funny that at the end of the movie, when they bring him in the room, they start showing him. I mean, everybody... Go ahead.
So Loki and Captain Marvel are brought into a room.
Right.
And they're like,
Monarch.
By Monarch, which is John Goodman's...
Which all of us knew that this was going to tie into Godzilla because we read these articles.
Yeah, exactly.
Which a lot of people didn't. Then they throw out the Monarch references. which if you didn't get it because you didn't see Godzilla in 2012, maybe you didn't realize that as well.
I saw it and I didn't realize that it was the same company.
And then I don't remember much of that movie.
They showed the boat that Godzilla went through and destroyed the boat because you see his spikes on his back. It's all through the boat. So they gave you a lot of that, which we kind of feel
and they showed you the cave where he was in.
Right.
Where they
were kind of like, hey, this movie's the same. Then at the end, they're just basically like, Godzilla's in this movie. Like if you didn't figure it out, they were really all over.
Dude, the Godzilla scream, and it's just big white type Comic Sans. This is in Godzilla's universe.
So they show you Godzilla. They showed you Mothra, Ghidorah, and Rodan, pictures of them, that like these on cave drawings and stuff, and then they did the Godzilla roar, and I think if you didn't get it by then, like Godzilla just shows up in the theater. I'm in this movie. I'm in the next movie.
Hey kids, come see me next summer.
I actually hope he's on the next movie. I would like to see how Kong would get to the United States at some point in time. And then,
I think the next movie is called Kong vs. Godzilla vs. Kong. It's 2020.
Really?
Okay.
That's when it's supposed to be. Unless they do Godzilla 2.
I think Godzilla 2 is 2018.
I think they should do a second one for each of them and then lead into the fact that, like...
Yeah, build it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Because they'll probably go and get him for help, I would think, would be their reasoning for bringing him.
Well, you know they're going to fight.
Yeah, they're going to have to fight, and then they'll team up against one of these other guys.
I was going to say, they'll fight at the beginning, but they'll find a common enemy.
I think you're going to find out that, like, the Skull Walker is maybe some descendant of a Godzilla. Because it looked like Godzilla's without scales.
Mm-hmm.
And I think all Kong's going to see is the fact that it's a giant lizard.
And attack him.
And attack him.
Yeah. He's going to be racial profiling.
Yeah.
You lizards are all the same. I'm attacking you.
But they did kind of say where there's like apparently like warp zones like Mario Brothers that you can go through the earth and pop
the hollow earth theory.
Yeah. So I think
that might come into play too.
Because that's how he could get off the island.
Pacific Rim too. Had that kind of.
Which is they're saying also might be part of this whole universe.
They've talked about putting Pacific Rim, which
that was actually alien and extra dimensional.
Yeah, that was another dimension. That was like future too.
Yeah,
because all the cities were all weird.
Yeah,
like New York and Tokyo were like one city.
Yeah, but they can always say that's the future.
Yeah, it wasn't too far into the future.
But it seemed like a weird dimension, like because that was supposed to be like a main city. They never told you what it was. It looked like New York City, but there was like Tokyo stuff in there.
It was like probably new Tokyo.
It was different. Yeah. But I don't want that in there. I'd be fine with Kong and Godzilla and all these other monsters.
Well, what if they put mechs in with that to help fight?
They could always do somebody like, who was
Ultraman.
Mecha Godzilla. Oh, yeah. And then you could always do, what was it, Ultraman?
Actually, I'd like to see Ultraman and Jet Jaguar.
Yeah, Jet Jaguar.
Megazord.
Not in the first one, though. Like, if they continue these like they did... when they started in the 30s and they just start going crazy with it. Yeah. The first one, I just want this Kong versus the current Godzilla we have. And
now, do you want it the same way the original, the winner the same way the original movie was?
How did that go?
So, in the original Kong versus Godzilla, Godzilla wins in the movies that were in Japan and over there. And in America, King Kong won. So, like, depending on what movie you watched, was who won the
And they killed the other one?
I don't think they killed him. I think they drove him away. But they could always do, like, I don't want to see death. Like, because...
It'll be Batman versus Superman. It's going to be this fight where they, like... It'll be Godzilla... Because Godzilla needs to grow a little bit because he's at least 200 feet small. I mean, Kong needs to grow. He's smaller than him.
It's going to be, 40 years?
Okay.
So maybe he'll jump all around him, and they'll little fire breath, a little bit of that, and then something will show up, and it'll be because like you said, Kong's smart. You can figure out what's good. And I think Godzilla was kind of the same way too. He didn't want to kill humans for no reason.
He was trying to kill them.
Well, and he actually figured out how to use like tools to kill the Mutos.
Yeah.
Unless they do it Batman versus Superman, where it's like Rodan comes down. And, like, maybe Godzilla somehow finds... Or they both find out about it somehow. I don't know. Some kind of kaiju hot wire. And they realize that, like, Rodan's in America. So they both...
No, but in the originals, Rodan was terrestrial. It was Ghidorah who was spacefaring.
Because then there was, like...
And Rodan was sometimes good. That he teamed up with Godzilla a couple times. He wasn't necessarily... Neither was Mothra. Totally bad all the time.
No, because he was off of Monster Island with the two little twins who sang.
But King Ghidorah came from outer space, and
he was evil,
pure evil. Now, but if you remember the Godzilla movie,
he was evil because he was controlled by the X-aliens.
Something
the aliens
like
from Planet
X. The next movie is Godzilla: King of the Monsters in 2019.
Love it. I want them to keep doing that. There should be as many Marvel movies as there should be Godzilla in these movies.
And Millie Bobby Brown, a.k.a. 11, is going to be in this
Oh,
movie.
yeah, I heard about that. Because someone calls her mom. Is it that Virga Pharma?
I don't know.
Pharmaceuticals? Farmville?
Ken Watanabe's back.
Yeah, because he's gonna go again in that movie.
Let the fight.
That's what he's gonna say. Is one line. But I was saying in that Godzilla movie, Godzilla they defined him as a security system for the world, where he would rise up when he would sense these.
Yeah.
And I think King Kong was kind of the same thing
For his island.
For his
Security
island,
system for
if
his
he gets
island.
off that island, I think they'll realize that they're both sort of there as a security measure.
Because they both said that the one thing in the after credit scene was this world does not belong to humans. It belonged to a race beforehand or multiple races beforehand.
Could Monster Island be Kong's Island? The skull? Could it be the same one and the same?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the size of those things. Mothra is probably going to come out of one of those holes.
Yeah, but they actually also but in the end they actually said
Grab
that
your
they
ankles,
were,
Monster's coming out with his whole...
but they
Mothra to me is always-
didn't they mention other unknown islands?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and they talked about that pocket, the Hollow Earth thing.
Right.
These pockets pop up. That's where Godzilla was.
Yeah.
He was in some hole in the ocean. They couldn't find it was deep enough, and he resurfaced. And they tried to drop nukes on him and all that stuff that they went through.
I love that the United States was so ahead of its time finding monsters, but not winning the Vietnam War.
Yeah,
These
they're
movies,
struggling there.
We knew about all this stuff, and we're dropping bombs on it. Or
Monarch.
did Japan drop bombs on Godzilla?
Well, but remember they actually said that they actually were trying to kill something.
Yeah.
With the attack of Hiroshima?
No, not with the attack of Hiroshima.
the
all of the
testing
all the
and making
nuclear
it whole.
testing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. created
That's
SpongeBob.
yeah,
They were
okay.
trying to kill him. But he didn't die. So, I don't know. Any other cool... Is there any other... I mean, other than... Mothra doesn't do much for me. It's just always kind of stupid. Can't they introduce Gamera? Isn't he in the same universe?
Gamera,
Oh,
Yeah,
Gamera's amazing. The turtle
Gamera's
with the
amazing.
rocket
Flying
legs.
turtle with
Or-
rocket legs. And
Megalon, the big beetle with that shot the exploding
yeah,
things and had the
Megalon.
drill arms.
oh, yeah, the
him,
drill
yeah.
arms are great.
Megaguirus looks kind of like Beedrill.
These are
They do
Pokemon.
look like Pokemon.
They do.
Well,
Well, it probably mirror a lot of that
Yeah.
stuff
Yeah.
off of it.
Yeah.
After Japan made kaijus, they probably made Pokemon that look a lot like them.
They're the pocket-sized version.
Yeah, pocket monsters. Yeah, I like the. I want some Gamera. I want some little kids flying on his back
Yeah.
too in a movie. I want 11 riding on the back of Gamera. Just, yay!
never-ending story style.
Gamera!
Yeah, him.
See, I always liked him. Who was
Yeah.
the one that had the buzzsaw on his stuff?
That was
That guy was cool.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't get anywhere near that
Yeah, because
chest.
he would hug you and then just buzzsaw your stomach.
he was in Godzilla versus Megalon. He was the guy that fought against Godzilla and
I want
Jaguar.
Mecha Godzilla too. I always liked Mecha Godzilla. I always thought it was a strange thing.
Yeah.
You build a big road, it just looks exactly like him.
Well, maybe instead of Mechagodzilla, they make something like that's when you start doing the Pacific Rim, style things.
Ultraman would look a little odd.
I think it would look cool.
The guy that grew real big and yeah.
I mean,
They can make a cool backstory for him to explain it.
yeah. Oh, what is that? King? That's Godzilla's son.
Godzilla's Revenge, the little creepy looking Godzilla.
Is
Oh,
it
with-
Godzuki?
Yeah, it's Godzuki.
Maybe
Gigan.
Ibira, Horror of the Deep. It looks like a giant crab monster.
Gigan.
Gigan?
Yeah, Giga.
Maybe they'll bring Matthew Broderick and tie in that. Godzilla.
Oh,
So
I hope
fun.
so. Yeah, see, I was
Oh,
like,
yeah, that guy was
He can
cool.
shoot lasers out of his one
Yeah.
eye.
What's
What
his
is this
name?
thing? It
Gigan.
just looks like a blob of molten metal with eyes.
Yeah, that's all it was.
Hedera.
It was like their thing.
Heterosexual?
No, he was the one that was he was the pollution monster,
Yeah,
wasn't he?
yeah. It was their talk on
Okay.
like
Muck.
too much. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the smog monster. Yeah, it just
There
it
you
looks
go.
like a blob of molten metal.
They got a lot of cool guys, so we
Yeah,
can
they
see
can
a
make
lot.
these movies forever.
They could. They can
Yeah.
introduce a lot of stuff. Just have Kong and
The lead actors are CGI.
they can make like a Justice League of good guys. Mothra, King Kong,
What's what
Ghidorah.
they should do for what's the three-headed one again?
Ghidorah.
Yeah.
Ghidorah's like Thanos. You
Yeah.
got to build up to
Yeah, if
to
you make,
Ghidorah.
yeah, or
Yeah.
you build up to Mecha Ghidorah whenever he had the one robotic head. That
Oh,
I
yeah,
think because
yeah.
Godzilla ripped the one off.
Yeah,
that's-
you got to build up to him. He's your Thanos. Work
Yeah.
around that.
Yeah, because they could do these. They could do one a year and never
You
run out
have,
of
you have
monsters.
Gamera and Godzilla, Mothra, King Kong.
And he could beat each of them, and then they all earned Godzilla's respect by Godzilla beating the crap out of them.
So there's an article that actually goes through every Godzilla monster from lamest to coolest, and there are 32 of them.
Yeah, let's not read all that. We're already at 35 minutes.
So Lance, go ahead and start talking about all these monsters.
Anyway, I think all around we enjoyed it. It was
That's what we expected.
It was a good next step. It was very enjoyable. It's something like the other, like Godzilla. Every time it's on HBO, I'll watch parts of it over and over and over. Anything else there, Cheese?
No, I don't think so.
Brock, anything else?
Nope.
Lance?
No, I'm good.
Ken?
No, just like, share, subscribe, invite to the cool kids. We're up over 100 on YouTube, which is nice. Oh, what's our YouTube thing at?
It's YouTube. It's Ken Frederick Podcast.
All right, so find us on YouTube there.
And then do the
subscribe.
Godzilla scream to take us out.
All
Thanks.
right, thanks
Later.
everybody. Bye.